Hello and welcome to my channel GreenLion Goddess Tarot. This is your daily reading for the 26th of August 2022, and here we are moving further into Virgo season. So still very early days, but let's see where this is taking us. We've seen the Pentacles have come in the last couple of days. We've seen everything start to kind of ground down and calm down a little bit after the very dynamic energy that was occurring throughout Leo season. So let's see what is coming in for August the 26th. Just need to get the right little energy into the cards and we'll see what's coming in. Okay. The Magician. Okay. How are you going to do something? The Hanged Man. Okay. Have a think about it. Maybe look at it from different perspectives. The Judgment. Look at these big major arcanas coming in. Something is calling you, though. You may be hesitant about this, but it's something that a situation you're going to have to manage. It's something that potentially is kind of quite deep. It runs quite deep. And we have at the base the Three of Wands. Okay, so we're looking at results that are coming in. We're looking at where something's at this moment in time, because I feel like perhaps you've tried a few things with the Three of Wands. This is like waiting for your ships to come in. Maybe you've put some things out there and you're waiting to see what is coming back in terms of the results or answers or whatever it is that you've kind of put out there. And it's like I feel like there's still this waiting time with the Hanged Man energy, because the universe is kind of putting you in this suspended space for the moment. It's like, yeah, you're working a lot through in terms of what's happening consciously inside your mind and how things are working, how something's going in your life at this moment in time. The Magician energy likes to draw resources towards him. It's like, yeah, very much the how. It's a number one. So it's like you're starting something new. How's this going to all work? How's this going to happen? But then you're up against the Hanged Man energy, which says there's potential delays. There's potential stagnation, there's potential frustrations with it because you're kind of wanting to start something or wanting for something to come back to you and it hasn't quite happened yet. So this is kind of interesting energy that comes in, but it's because the Judgment energy is saying, well, there's something that hasn't yet been cleared up and out. There's something is definitely calling you here. This is like a rebirth and awakening energy, but we can see these figures are coming up from the dead to be cleared and cleaned out. So the universe wants you to spend a bit of time with what energy debris is around something in order to kind of, or maybe even old ideas. There's just something here that you don't need anymore moving forward with it. And so it may feel like there's stagnation and delays, but it's one of those things that the universe wants you to be in this space because they're kind of wanting you to, it's not ready to move forward. It's not the right divine timing yet. But you're still getting the message that this is something you want to do and they're still working out the how. So it's not saying it's not right, but it's not, there's some kind of like I said, delay around it. And it is, that's why, I mean, I feel like there's potentially, it's kind of like there may have been some, you're waiting for decisions, perhaps through managers or people who are managing situations. Perhaps you're like trying to make a decision yourself and it's kind of hard. Maybe there's decisions pending that haven't come through. Maybe there's people around you who are hesitating, or maybe this is you that's hesitating to step into this bigger energy, because the Judgment energy is like a rebirth. It's like something really strong from soul and spirit calling you here, and it's kind of about to step into something new, a new space, a new energy. And it's kind of like, you know, it's like you've got to do all the work. It's something's not quite right for this to move forward yet. So yeah, again, the Two of Swords, delays, indecision, things not kind of progressing just yet. But we do have the King of Cups there, which is good. This is actually a real Scorpio energy, and it's kind of saying there are some things that might be running deep under the surface, some underlying currents that you might be needing to kind of get to the truth of a matter or just see what's going on underneath, like kind of peel through some of the layers and see what's actually what these things are. There's some very strong messages from Spirit coming in saying there's stuff that's coming up from the dead. The Scorpio energy can deal a lot with that. You know, it can work through a lot of that energy with the King of Cups. So it can be very psychological as well. Maybe there's things like that are coming up in terms of, your psychology or dealing with some kind of psychological event or impact that you're kind of working through. But I like the fact the King of Cups has come in, because that's a person that is really good at managing difficult situations or managing energies, emotions, money, whatever it is that needs to be managed here. So whether this is someone around you or whether this is somebody, this is you, an aspect of you. So it may be, that decision hasn't been made yet. This person's sitting with the decision, sitting with it and waiting to make a choice or a decision here about how to move forward. And this, I get, is a very necessary energy, despite the fact that it's frustrating. So this Three of Wands, like maybe you've put a job application out and you're kind of waiting, and this is the manager here, the King of Cups, going through all the processes, the applications, hasn't made a decision yet. So you haven't heard anything, and it can be a frustrating, like I'm waiting, I haven't heard anything. This is just an example. You can, it's kind of a sense of you're wanting something to come, you're wanting some kind of information or waiting for something to come in, and you're not quite getting that yet. But that's because there's good reason for it. So I think that there's more happening energetically, but also, other decisions that are happening kind of by other people or in the background that are still kind of whirling around with this as well. So this could just be you being indecisive about something. But ultimately, the Hanged Man and the Judgment energy are both the cards that are around enlightenment. Things are awakening within you, and it is just about becoming consciously aware of that. With the Magician energy is about consciously bringing things into creation. There are things that are coming through that are consciously coming up into your awareness now that you're kind of working and managing at this moment in time. Sorry, the dog started howling. I'm actually minding 5 dogs at the moment, so it's all they howl when somebody comes home. They get all excited, very emotional. But anyway, I was saying that this is, there's a lot of things, undercurrents under the surface going on here that is to do with those bigger energies of awakening that are happening at this moment in time. So whilst there's the conscious part of you is just going, I want to move forward with this, there's other things that are integrating in that are being processed as well. You're letting go of old energies and you're making room for the new. And so this is kind of like they're showing me it's like a marination time, that, you can marinate something and you could take it out earlier and it just won't taste quite as rich or full. But if you leave it for the full amount of time, it's going to be so much better. And that's kind of what I'm getting with this. So, interesting. But in general, I think just a little bit of waiting time and we'll see where this is going. So thanks so much for joining me and look forward to seeing you tomorrow.